Slight low, slight left, but
First round impact.
Yeah.
No, I'm done. I'm done. It's your turn now. So I've made like 3 videos now about this rifle. Remington 740, 742. I did a bunch of shooting with them, and I really had a lot of fun with it, and I got a lot of comments in the comment section talking about, other people's experience. One of the things that consistently was brought up time and time again was that, the 740 and the 742 and those things, yeah, they weren't amazingly accurate, but what was really accurate was the 760, which was like a pump action version of this gun. I kept getting these comments again and again. You got to try the 760. The 760 is more accurate in my experience, all that stuff. And knowing what I know about, well, people on the internet, they like to lie, or they like to forget, like, how accurate something is, or maybe they shot one group one time and it was pretty good and that they base everything on that, right? I kept thinking, though, maybe there's something to it. So I went out and I found myself a mint condition 760 right here. I mean, I think Remington was really ahead of the curve when they put a folding stock on the gun. Like that. That will fit behind the back seat of your truck super nice and snug. Like, that's amazing. So, this is my Remington 760. This rifle I know was made in 1962. I also know that for the last 20 years, it was in my buddy's closet. And then 20 years prior to that, I think it was bouncing around the back of some dude's truck. The stock was broken, and it has been drilled for like a Lyman peep sight. It's the carbine version with the 18.5-inch barrel, which is really cool. It is chambered in 30-06. I always said that if I was going to get another rifle for, I don't know, just like sporting or whatever, just another rifle, because God knows I have too many as it is, it would probably be something in 30-06, because I have so much brass from testing this thing that I will literally never run out of reloading materials. I have put together the pinnacle of whitetail weaponry. This thing will take out anything you point it at, and it'll also maybe take out your shoulder. It kicks quite a bit. Thank goodness I put this nice recoil pad on. We have the range to ourselves. It's going to be great. And the best deer killing implement since maybe the bow and arrow. We've got the 760. Let's get it sighted in. What's the wind condition look like?
13 to 17.
13 to 17.
Coming out about.
Good conditions. Alright. We've got normal whitetail. We've got, it's not that. Precision Hunter ELDX. Winchester PowerPoint. There's a deer on the box, it's good. We've got Hornady Match ELDM. And for fun, we've got some hand loads. So, let's sight this guy in. Oh, that's pretty satisfying. Yeah. So let's go over it right quick. Yes, the stock on the original was not held on properly by like a screw, and they lost the screw. And I think the guy who had it before me just used a straight up pistol grip, which is hilarious. So I decided to, put it back together with proper Remington parts, like this folding stock, which is for a 20 gauge 870. The optic I chose is a 2-power prism optic by Primary Arms, which is like the perfect magnification for a gun like this. It goes on top of a rail here, just a standard rail. Grip here, wonderfully, beautifully textured walnut foregrip. Bolt, as you can see, is the standard like 12 lug interrupted thread bolt design. It's a very, very strong bolt. It goes up into the barrel and rotates in place and locks. Remington taking this design and making it semi-auto was honestly like not even that difficult. We started off with a test. Obviously, I wanted to make sure that we were shooting that day. It was pretty windy, not great conditions, but I took out my little Ruger American here. We decided to see like what kind of groups we could do in the wind. Wow, that wind is bad. Those anymore. That's like 5 reloads.
Oh, okay.
Any 6.5 brass that's coming like out of my reloads, we're just gonna toss.
Okay.
That wind. I'm pretty happy with that. And much to my surprise, even with like 15-mile-an-hour wind, the first group that I shot with that rifle today was almost half minute of angle. I'm only doing 5-shot groups for the 760 just because, I want to get just an idea of how it does, and that's what we did for the 740. So a lot of people are going to look at this optic choice and be very kind of probably upset or incredulous. So what I did was I dropped this scope all the way down to power to it's like 2.5 power as its like bottom end, and I shot a group with it. We're gonna do a group with this rifle set all the way down. That group turned out to be just over 1.25 minute of angle. So I'm shooting in the wind, this rifle totally turned down in magnification, 1.25 minute of angle. So again, you can shoot small groups without a lot of magnification. That's okay. Next, normal whitetail, 140, 50 something grain, soft points. Perfect. See how these shoot. Wow. You said the wind would die down.
Eventually.
I can already hear the comments now. Sighted in. That's my 6.5 Creedmoor for my Ruger American, 5 shots. That's pretty decent.
Yeah.
I think the suppressor's really like helping out.
Mm-hmm.
That was at 12 power. That was at 3 power, which is roughly what the optic on the 760 is. So at 3 power, I can still do this in this wind. First group, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're gonna go back to this ammo, I think, and keep plugging away. So the first group we actually shot with the rifle, once we sighted it in, was like some of my reloads, I think. Yeah. And I was incredibly surprised. Those things shot like 2 MOA, like a 5-shot group. And immediately I was like, okay, well that might be a fluke, because the semi-auto shot a group like that last time we had it out with Remington, just like UMC green box. So maybe it's just a fluke. We're gonna see how fast these reloads are. So middle right target, bottom. The middle of the bottom right target. Right?
2700.
2700?
Yeah, 2697.
Holy crap! I have an 18-inch barrel.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
I did not expect it to go that fast.
Such
Aftermarket magazine. Okay, Jesus.
$27.36.
The other mag works better. It does not like it.
Oh yeah, that brass got mangled.
Ugh. They'll probably still shoot.
Your gun. He'll fire for him.
Yeah, I'll fire for him. Then we move on to the Winchester PowerPoint. And that shot a little over 2.25 minutes of angle for a 5-shot group. Which, again, that's very good for a rifle of this vintage. It's 1961 manufacture. Like, that's pretty good. And again, that's 2 groups. And at this point, it's looking like it is better than the 740. Moved on to the S&B. How did it do? This group, I was surprised because I was shooting a lot higher than I expected, and it kind of got in with one of my 6.5 Creedmoor groups, but I was able to see the 30 cal holes compared to the 6.5 mil holds, and that group came out to be, again, just under 2.5 MOA, which, if we remember, this stuff shot like 3.5 in the semi-auto. This stuff shot about 3.5 in the semi-auto. Precision Hunter and the ELDMs, they did about the same. If it wasn't for the final shot, would have been the tightest group of the day. The first 4 shots were literally within 1 MOA, and then the 5th shot kind of flew it out. So I don't know if it was just fluke. I don't know if it was the barrel heating up, what it was, but it did throw that shot. But again, 3.2 minutes of angle is still good. That's still pretty good for a rifle like this. The Norma Whitetail, this stuff actually technically was like the worst group of the day, but it was kind of a bimodal distribution. You had the first 3 shots were right there all together, and the next 2 shots opened it up to about 3.5 minutes of angle, which, again, that's not terrible because similar ammunition was shooting at like 4 minutes in, this gun. What ammunition do you want?
The worst. No, do you have the, I gotta do the shrooms. We are in Colorado.
You want the Norma Whitetail or the Winchester PowerPoint?
Deadliest mushroom in the woods.
I don't have any.
We can't call this a Remington test.
We don't have any core lock today, I know.
Listen,
this is Winchester.
Okay, that's sufficiently...
It's sufficient. Look, it's the legendary whitetail deer cartridge.
Yep.
Made in the USA.
Yeah, it's the next best thing, I think.
We'll see. We'll see if it kills a target. You know it's good when your ammunition is packed in that, like, foam.
Yeah, we don't want to damage the Meplat.
Yeah, don't want to damage that super slippery bullet.
Wow, these magazines are terrible.
Oh, the mags are horrible. Yeah.
Like, this is not how cartridges stack. Why did you do it this way?
Yep. Yeah, okay. We're making something of that. Yeah, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, just throw it in there. Just like just like PRS. Gotta do a speed load. Just throw it into action. There we go.
Yeah, I got the quiver on the side.
Yeah, it's a good PRS gun. Yeah, that ain't bad.
PRS, more like DRS, Deer Rifle Series.
Deer Rifle Series. Every single ammunition that we shot out of the pump action here pretty much shot better than the semi-auto by about 1 minute of angle. So there's like a 1 minute difference between each of these ammunition types. ELDM, ELDX, the soft points we used, etc. I think that I can pretty confidently say that you guys were correct in the comment section. Your memory was correct. Your experience was correct, at least from what I can tell. The pump action pump action, because realistically it's a bolt action, whatever. The pump action version of this gun was more accurate. There you have it. More accurate by like a ton? No. But I mean, these aren't 1 minute of angle guns. They're not, right? They are pretty accurate hunting rifles for the time. Let's compare it to my other deer rifle. Yeah, this is actually another deer rifle of mine. This is my 9130 sniper. It's like a faux sniper. Started its life as a standard 9130, but it was in really good condition, so we decided to convert it to kind of like the PU sniper that you see here. We shot this rifle as well because I thought it'd be funny to like compare, the accuracy, because everybody's idea of accuracy with something like this is usually like very poor. And so I took not my hand loads, because we ended up actually shooting my old hunting ammunition, which is a 203 grain like brown bear soft point that I've used to take countless deer. We are going to put the 760 up against a contemporary of the day, which is this 9130 sniper rifle, true blue reproduction sniper rifle. So let's see how that does. Top right, bottom right. Here we go.
Not on paper.
Off to a good start. Again, I sighted this in with my hunting ammunition. It was a little bit off.
Yeah.
So,
I go bullseye bottom right target.
Bullseye bottom right?
Yep. 6 inches high.
Again, it's probably because they had 200s as my last time I shot this.
Yeah.
So, how about... How about this? We bust out the 200s.
There you go.
Why would you change your 0 when you could just change your ammunition on the fly? Okay. Now I'm gonna go back to that first hold.
Okay. Yeah, the diamond?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. You are 2 mil high.
That's okay. There we go.
The left.
Well, that's vintage 2006 brown bear. Don't worry, I still have like 100 rounds of that, so. All right, so these are. All right, so that. Okay, so honestly, for shit tier Russian ammunition.
Mm-hmm. Out of a Mosin.
Out of a Mosin.
Garbage rod.
That's really not bad.
Yeah, 3 MOA.
That's like...
better than what you could expect out of an Enfield or a Mauser.
Yeah, that's incredibly good. And again, those are just some random soft points.
Yep. That's pretty good. That's so pretty funny.
That's so stupid. I love it. All right, we're going to put some more targets up and actually shoot this piece of trash more. Turns out that this thing shot like a 3-minute group, which is pretty good for that type of ammunition and whatever. Shot as well as this thing with similar ammunition. So, I don't know. Take it for what you will. Not saying every Mosin's going to be every deer rifle, but I thought it was funny because both of them are now technically my like deer rifles. Yep. You're high, but keep that hold. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch.
I'm hearing music to my ears over there.
Oh, damn it.
Are you going to be eating some crow?
I'm going to be eating... It's going to be well done crow. Oh,
Did I
it
ruin
opened
it?
up.
Or did
That was like 1.5 inch group.
I? Was?
Yeah, we used the last one sailed high and to the left. Time for some Czechoslovakian garbage. Jesus. Fuck. One more. Do you want this back or?
No. It did touch the ground, so I got to make sure it's nice and clean. I don't want to hurt the match chamber that's
Yeah,
in this
that's a
thing.
very expensive chamber.
25-22.
It felt worse than that.
What weight?
168?
Nah, no, I think you're just being a sissy.
I guess I'm a sissy. We then took this thing to the steel range because, well, we had the range to ourselves. Why wouldn't we go to the steel range? And I was like, you know what? It's got a BDC inside the reticle that goes out to at least 400, so let's see what it can do. We came to the steel range and somebody left hundreds of free pieces of brass. How much Win Mag do you have?
I think I picked up like 60 so far today.
Oh, we brass gobbling today, boys. Shooting FUD rifles. We're gonna be FUDs. We have to embrace the lifestyle. Just throwing away money is what they're doing. All right, 400 yards. I have no idea if you'll be able to see this in the camera, but we'll give it a shot. Let's go over here. I also don't know the hold. God, that's hard to see. At 400?
Should be the bottom dot. Goes on.
Well, let's give it a shot. It's hard to see the gong because they're half buried.
Yeah.
All right.
And the sun's at the wrong angle and just generally unfavorable conditions.
That's all right. We're going to send it. Stand by.
Hit. Slight low, slight left, but
First round impact.
Yeah.
No. I'm done. I'm done. It's your turn now.
How was the hold?
Literally the second dot.
I got big shoes to fill.
Let's see here. I got a first round impact at 400. So did my buddy. We moved to 500. He got a first round impact. Took me 2 rounds. I got an impact. And then, because he's crazy, he says, let's go to 600. Come on.
Okay, on target. Sending.
Hit.
Okay.
All right. First round impacts, both of us, with the 760 at 400 yards. You going again?
Go for 500.
Going for 500?
Yeah, we don't have the
Way out that way.
yeah, we don't have the reticle for any of this.
What? 500.
Shooter ready. Sending.
That was a hit.
Okay.
Sounded like a hit.
Yeah, I think it hit.
Yeah,
I saw it
it's
going.
swinging. It's swinging.
Oh, yeah, okay. You know,
500 yards.
first round.
All right. Well, what was your hold? Let me see. Somewhere in the middle of the last dot and where the lines
Just
start.
in your mind, just duplicate the dot above it with the same spacing.
Okay.
Just down below it.
All right.
Dot ready. High.
High. Damn. Okay.
Hit. Hit low right.
Woo! 500 yards. He's run out of BDC at this point. 600 yards. What's he going to do? First round impact. What are you trying to do now?
6.
600? Okay. There's no way the camera's going to pick this up. Fuck. That's a hit.
deer rifle series, my favorite series.
The deer rifle series with a 2-power optic, 600 yards.
18-inch barrel.
18-inch barrel.
Probably a number 3 contour.
Yeah, it's a very, very thin whippy barrel. And it just hit 600. All right, that's it. We're done. We took an 18-inch hunting rifle with a whippy little barrel and a 2-power optic and took it out to 600 yards successfully. I mean, eat your heart out, PRS. I did not expect this thing to shoot as well as it did. I really did. I fully expected it to shoot about what the semi-auto did, right? 3 to 4 minute of angle. That's just my expectation. And happy to report that this rifle beat my expectation. So, good for it. So, why is this thing more accurate than the semi-automatic version? Long screw. Despite the fact that this like cap on the end does contact the barrel a little bit, here is your action assembly, right? Notice there's a lot less contacting the barrel. So the lockup with the lugs are like the same practically between the 740 and the 760, but you have just way less contact on the actual barrel. Slip the piece of paper all the way through, right? We're doing the whole paper test. People still do that, right? So less going on in the barrel. The semi-automatic version has your gas port. It's got your recoil assembly, just all of that going on. This one doesn't have that. It lends itself to being a bit more accurate like that. Personally, I think the barrel quality between the two is probably about the same. And if you eliminated some of the variability within the semi-auto that goes underneath the barrel, it would accurize it right up to something like this. This rifle may look silly, may look unloved, but I took it out to I took it to 500 yards and hit steel with it, which is a pretty big accomplishment. I haven't done that with most of my rifles. So good on it. Neat rifle. If you're looking for something different, track one down. You can still find these. The pump action Winchester Model 760 is objectively more accurate than the 740. Yep. 5, I think, is like 8. Hit.
Nice.
5. I'm gonna go 13. Hit. Yeah. 600 down. Where's 7?